Okay, ladies and gents, your boy called it. I said it from the start. OMalley would win by KO against Aljamain Sterling, but he gets it done in the second round, not in the first round like I predicted. But guess what? It was basically a first round KO. I called it. MMA Guru called me stupid in his live stream. I'm not stupid. I told you guys from the absolute start that the UFC always gets what they want. And guess what happened? They got what they want. OMalley KOs Aljamain Sterling in the first minute of the second round. Sterling goes down bad, face plants the canvas. Then it's followed up by some gruesome, absolutely gruesome ground and pound shots. Absolutely dirty. Sean O'Malley has, I think, some of the most vicious ground and pound. Not as good as Volk, but I would say it's pretty up there in terms of just landing clean KO blows on a downed opponent. He landed every single shot on Sterling, I think, was flush. Every hammer fist, every right hand, left hand on Aljamain's chin while he was on the ground. You just can't escape that long, lengthy arms of O'Malley when you're hurt by him. He is just unbelievable in terms of ground and pound. And he is now the UFC bantamweight champion of the world. Who would have guessed it? I guessed it, but who else would have guessed it? Nobody else would have guessed it. It's crazy to me. And this is probably the second, third biggest KO of the year. It's up there with Adesanya versus Pereira too, when Adesanya KO'd Pereira in that second round. And then I guess the Dricus du Plessis versus Whitaker one was crazy as well. But this is up there. I think it's a little bit ahead of Dricus and Whitaker because this was a title fight and people hated Aldo. It's up there, man. This is definitely one of the best KOs of the year so far. One of the most exciting KOs. It was clean, a pullback right hand. McGregor style just flipped over to the right hand instead of the left hand against Aldo. It was, a beautiful, absolutely beautiful KO shot by O'Malley. I'm happy for him. But even though I'm happy for O'Malley, and he is one of my more favorite fighters to watch, he's super exciting. I love me some O'Malley. I feel more bad about Aldo losing than O'Malley winning. I don't know why I feel this way, but I feel this way. And I like O'Malley. I'm glad that he won. I wanted him to win. I picked him to win. But I just feel some kind of way that Aljamain Sterling, after all he's gone through, getting pretty much KO without putting up much of a fight in the first round. He won the first round in my opinion, but he wasn't really doing much. He was just landing like leg kicks and side kicks to the body, just doing some unorthodox stuff, not really doing too much grappling. And that was kind of the issue, Aldo. I know O'Malley's footwork is great, but do some more fucking grappling, bro. Like, you have to take this guy down. He wasn't really implementing the takedown threat. He shot in the last 10 seconds of the first round. Sterling, we got to do better than that, man. If you want to win championship fights, you got to do better than that. But I called it. Again, I called it, man. I called it. He went out there and he lunged for I believe the left hand, Sterling did. He got caught with a pullback right hand, and it happens, bro. And I said this. How will Aljamain Sterling's chin be after cutting weight on 4 months notice? And 4 months notice sounds like a long time, but for Aljamain Sterling, it's an insanely short amount of time for him. He cuts so much damn weight. So I saw this coming. I knew that he wouldn't have the correct amount of fluid in his brain. Now he's in insanely good shape, and I know that he has some of the best, nutritionists around. Sterling does. But when you're cutting weight on 4 months notice, it's just gonna be it, man. Your chin's not gonna be as good as it usually is. And when you're fighting a guy who's a power puncher like O'Malley, who will land on you no matter what happens, he will land on you. And he rocked Jan, which is crazy. You might get KO'd by. You might get put down on your face and then ground and pounded out afterwards. And then he might be injured as well. Maybe that's why he didn't grapple as much. I'm not going to assume that Sterling was injured, but it's a high possibility that he was injured going into this matchup. And I think all the odds were too much stacked against Sterling for him to pull this one off against O'Malley. Now, stylistically wise, this was a nightmare matchup for O'Malley. Aljamain Sterling is a terrible and awful matchup for O'Malley. O'Malley's a long, lanky guy, and Sterling's a guy that gets on your back. He's a long, lanky guy as well, but he's shorter, but he has longer arms, so it's easy for him to get the back. He can grapple. He has amazing jiu-jitsu. it's just everything in this matchup for O'Malley was going to be a nightmare for him. The grappling, the striking, everything for him was going to be bad. It was going to be unorthodox, weird, crazy. It wasn't going to be a normal just kickboxing match or a normal striking match for him like against Munoz or even Vera or even some other guys he's fought, even Petr Yan. It was going to be a completely different look for him for this entire fight with Sterling. And Sterling didn't really take advantage of the advantages that he had. That was kind of a weird saying. But Sterling did not take advantage of the advantages that he had against O'Malley. He could have grappled more. And again, I know the footwork on O'Malley was looking on point that matchup. And he was moving around, doing a lot of lateral movement as well. So it was kind of a weird situation for Sterling. He could probably never find a good, clean entry to get on O'Malley. But use the cage, man. That's where his best work is. Sterling's best work is in the clinch against the cage. That's how he took Cejudo down with inside-outside trips. His entries have never been the best. Him diving for single legs and double legs had never been his go-to, his forte. And he had O'Malley backed up against the cage multiple times. Like he had a chance to grapple up O'Malley, but he just chose not to. He got comfortable in the striking. He was winning on the feet because O'Malley wasn't having too much output. He was kind of just, biding, waiting his time. So Sterling was winning on the feet clearly because O'Malley wasn't throwing shots. And it allowed for O'Malley to get a read and time him down the middle and just pull counter, right hand him down the center and pretty much KO him. Not out cold. He was still there. He was still kind of there. Sterling wasn't out cold completely, but he was obviously rocked and eating heavy ground and pound shots. It was a bad sight to see, and yeah, it's just a really bad thing for Aldo, man. Like it sucks for him. I really wanted him. I didn't care if he won or lost this matchup, but I would feel bad or feel good either way, no matter what happened with the result. If he won or lost, I would feel good if he won. I would feel bad if he lost, but I feel more bad, and I'm not salty, but I just really feel for Aldo. I really do. I'm really empathetic towards him in that way, or sympathetic to him right now, just because that man got all the shit talk. Everybody is still in the Instagram comments saying how much they hate Aldo, and this guy has done nothing but try to sell his fights. He's tried to be interesting. You now know who Aljamain Sterling is. You now know who this guy is, and you probably won't ever forget him. He is the bantamweight GOAT, or he was close to it. Maybe Cruz overtook him now, but this guy went out there and he did the best with what he had to do. After that knee, he's done what he has to do to keep himself relevant, to keep his name out there, to sell his fights, and he sold this fight pretty much almost single-handedly. It was really Aljamain Sterling shit-talking versus O'Malley's just name, star power, value, Instagram followers. That's pretty much what it was, and he went out there and he did his best to try to sell this matchup, and I really appreciate Sterling for that, man. He interacts with his fans, he live streams on YouTube. Sterling overall, I think, is a really great guy. And I know the whole knee situation puts a hamper on that, or it hampers that, but he was a great champion. I hate to say it, Sterling was a great champion. Generally was a great champion. I loved him as a champion. I know I hated him at first with the knee, but as time went on, he showed me that he was a great champion. He fought Cejudo, he fought Dillashaw. Dillashaw came in with one arm. That's not Sterling's fault. You know what I mean? He did what he had to do with the cards that he was dealt, and I think he's a great champion. He shit talked, he trash talked, he made his fights interesting. He at least tried to make them interesting. He at least put in the effort to try to be a good champion. So I can't respect Aldo more. I can't. And, that guy has all my respect at this point. But it is what it is, man. It's sad. It's saddening to see this. But at the end of the day, man, it's UFC, and somebody's path has to end to create a new one. And that new path is Sugar Sean O'Malley. And holy shit, you know what? I think Tim Welch. Let's talk about Tim Welch. Tim Welch is an absolutely amazing coach. This guy deserves more respect too. I got done respecting Aldo, now I'm going to respect Tim Welch. Tim Welch is an amazing coach. Absolutely amazing coach. He's the real hero of the story. It's not O'Malley being champion. It's Tim Welch coaching O'Malley since basically the beginning of his career and making him into a fucking star. He genuinely made O'Malley what he is today. And I think more fighters should start looking towards finding coaches that will solely focus on them, because we see with Tim Welch, again, he's smart, is obviously intelligent. We see him in the corner giving O'Malley advice. He gives really great advice. But maybe fighters should start looking towards finding that one coach who will put all their effort into him. I don't know how this works. Maybe the fight business is too much. Maybe coaches can't make enough money like a Tim Welch to, support only one fighter. But I think fighters should start looking towards finding that one coach who will put their all and everything into them so that they can improve the best. I think coaches finding one fighter to focus on, they can put more effort into them and really fine tune their game and make their game like a Sean O'Malley's, you know what I mean? So maybe Tim Welch and O'Malley started a whole new wave with basically one-on-one coaching for UFC fighters. That'd be crazy, but O'Malley wins. I'm happy for him. Is he a star? Yes, but is he like a McGregor star? No. Is he Adesanya star? He might be up there now. I think his fight versus Chito Vera will sell a good amount of pay-per-views, but I don't know if he's like a huge star to be said. He's a big name now, a huge name, in fact, but I don't think he is a massive mega pay-per-view star. Like, I don't think we'll ever see O'Malley be a McGregor. He doesn't have the shit talk for it. He's more of a shy guy, more of an internet troll kind of guy. Like, he doesn't have that quick, witty comeback like a McGregor had in his prime. So O'Malley will be a big name, and if he keeps winning, he can probably pass Aldo. If he fights Chito Vera, which I think he'll beat Chito Vera, I think quite easily. That's one title defense. Then he might fight a Corey Sandhagen, and then that's two title defenses. He can probably beat a Corey Sandhagen, but it'd be a close matchup. And then after that, he's at 2, and then one more. I mean, is that Aljo's? Aljo beat Jan, he beat Cejudo, and he beat Dillashaw. That's 3. So we might be talking about O'Malley being the fucking GOAT of bantamweight here in the next couple of years. It might be that case. So I'm happy for O'Malley. I don't want him to fight Chito Vera next, but if he's willing to make a 4-month turnaround, just get it going. I think the more O'Malley we see, the better it is for the UFC. They get what they want, as always. But O'Malley is now the UFC bantamweight champion. That's crazy. Crazy. UFC always gets what they want. I'm out of here, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video up to this point. Make sure to like this video and hit that subscribe button, as well as the bell icon for notifications. O'Malley bantamweight champion. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.